combinations, right? So restricted combinations. Then we are having binomial and multinomial coefficients and theorem. Okay. So in today's class, in this particular session, we will try to focus on our basis of counting permutations, permutations with repetitions, without repetitions, and then we will go with our what we call combinations. So there we will again check with combinations with repetitions and without repetitions if possible. Then we will be seeing our binomial theorem and binomial coefficients. How to calculate or how to identify. Anything as permutations. Right? So as you don't have any notes, so you can come along quickly with your subject. That is unit 3. You can take the heading as unit 3 and you can write it as your unit 8, that is combinatorics and recurrence relations. That is your unit 3 which you are having. In that you can keep the heading as permutations. Keep the heading as permutations. Keep the heading as permutations. Right up. An arrangement in a sequence, an arrangement in a sequence of elements of a set is called permutation of elements. Set is called permutation of elements. Okay. So what is permutation? It is, so we will be having some set of elements from which we need to go for the arrangement. Okay. So the formula is like this. So NPR is equal to, so can anyone say what is NPR is equal to? You already know the formula, right? Permutations and combinations you have seen in your earlier stages like your Hitler and all. So what is the formula for NPR? N factorial by n minus r factorial. Okay. So this is the formula which we are going to use. For the time being, just remember that particular formula. So when it is going to be repetitions, when it is going to be without repetitions, how we are going to use? What is the formula that we are going to duly learn? That we will see in the further discussion. Okay. So in basics of counting, we are having two different principles. One principle is sum rule, the other principle is product. Okay. So we are having two principles. One is sum rule, the other one is product. So what do you mean by sum rule and what do you mean by product rule? So when we are going to use sum rule and when we are going to use product rule. So we are discussing it is permutations. When we are going with the permutations, we are having one formula called NPR is equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial. That is also fine. So we are having two basic principles. One is sum rule and the other one is product rule. So when to use our sum rule, when to use our product. Any idea? So we said arrangement of elements in the given set is our permutation. Right. So when to use the when to use the sum rule and when to use your product rule. No idea? No guesses? Good. Towards your sum rule, just write the question. Towards sum rule, write the question. How many ways we select? How many ways can we select? Can we select girl or boy? Girl or boy representative? Girl or boy representative? Girl or boy representative from the class of 30 boys and 40 girls. 30 boys and 40 girls. 30 boys and 40 girls. So this is one side. Other side of the letter, one example. How many ways? How many ways can we select? How many ways can we select? How many ways can we select? Girl or boys representative? Girl or boys representative from the class of 30 girls and 40 boys. For other side, you write it as and. Select girls and boys representatives from the class of 30 girls and 40 boys. Okay. So one side we have written with or, the other side we have written with and. Okay. So whenever we are getting either or case, we are going with the sum rule. Whenever we are getting and case, we are going with the product. Okay. So as of now, just remember or case and case. Okay. So whenever we are having either or case, we are going with the sum rule. Whenever we are having and case, we are going with the product. Okay. Write down the question. Example: how many ways? How many 4-digit numbers? How many 4-digit numbers? How many 4-digit numbers? How many 4-digit numbers can be formed by using the digits? By using the digits 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. When repetition of digits is allowed. When repetition of digits is allowed. Right? So before we enter into this particular problem, first you need the answer for your sum rule and product rule once again. So when you are having sum rule, you are having or case. When you are having product rule, you are having and case. So say for example, if you are having two different problems to be performed, that is problem 1 and problem 2. Right? So two different problems are there. So one wants to perform problem 1 and problem 2, or both problems have to be executed. So which case is going to be acting as sum rule? Which case is going to be acting as product rule? That is, when you are going to execute both products, what is going to be your output? When you are executing one output, what is going to be your output? Sum is OR case or AND case? OR case. So when you are going for OR case, are we going to go for multiplication or addition? OR case, multiplication or addition? Addition. Very good. So if you want to execute P1 and P2, P1 plus P2 will be giving the result for by sum rule, and P1 into P2 is going to give me the output for product. Okay, right. So what is the question? Question is given 4-digit number has to be derived, or 4-digit number has to be given as the output, right? So repetitions are allowed or repetitions are not allowed? Repetitions are allowed or not allowed? Repetitions are allowed. So in a 4-digit number, how many numbers will be there? 4. Okay. So what are the places of those 4 numbers? So coming from right to left, what is the first position place? First position place. Speak in terms of ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. So right to left, first position is ones, second, tens, third, hundreds, fourth, thousands. Very good. Right. So how many numbers are there? 4 numbers are there. We will be getting 4 numbers. Okay. So we want 4-digit number as well. Right. So if repetition is allowed, can I place 2 in first position? Can I place 2 in ones place? Is it possible? Can I place it in tens place? Can I place it in tens place? Hundreds place? Thousand place? Yes. So how many ways I am getting for 2? 4 different ways I am getting for 2 when I am keeping it in ones place or twos place or tens place, 100 place or 1000 place. Whatever the case is. So if I am going with the same case for the other element, other 3 elements, how many ways I will be getting? 4 different ways for each and every number where I am going for hundreds place or tens place or thousands place. Right. So what I am supposed to do over here? Is it going to be the addition or multiplication? Is it going to be multiplication or addition? How many ways are there? Is it going to be addition or multiplication? Yes? Repetitions are allowed. What is going to be the output? Is it going to be addition or multiplication? Yes? What about this one? 4 ways we are having for each and every digit, whatever the digit that we are taking. So 4 ways for ones place, 4 ways for tens place, 4 ways for hundreds place, 4 ways for thousand place. Right? So is it going to be addition or multiplication? Product rule or sum rule? Yes? Is it going to be product rule or sum rule? Product rule. So what is going to be our answer? 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. 16 into 4 into 4. Right. So what it is? 64 into 4. That is 256. How many ways are there? Completely we are having 256 ways of representing 4 digits number when the repetitions are allowed. Right. Right? So you can represent 4 different numbers either in boxes or with dash lines. So represent them as ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, right? And you understood what is the position of each and every element. That is 4 times, 4 times, 4 times and 4 times. So when you are writing the total number of ways, it is going to be 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. Okay? So if you are going to simplify it, you will be getting 256 ways. Clear? Right. So if you understood, you can write it in your own words, that is in your own way. That is 256 as the answer, and you have to represent all the 4 terms in 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Copy. Copying is done. So if it is done, everyone, please finish. So first step is you have to represent in the form of 4 different ways, ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. Then you are going to write one line or one sentence which is called as total is equal to how many 4-digit numbers. Okay. Then you will be writing it as 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. Then you will be writing directly or partially 256 ways. Okay. So if you want to write directly, you can write 4 into 4, 16, 15 into 4, 16 into 4, 64, then 64 into 4, 256. Directly. Otherwise, you can write step by step. First, remove 2 letters, that is multiply 2 letters, then multiply the next 2, then multiply the further ones. Right. So if it is done, then go for the next one. Suppose, next example. Suppose, next question. Everyone is done, right? I am erasing. Right. Suppose there are 16 boys. Suppose there are 16 boys. Suppose there are 16 boys and 18 girls. 16 boys and 18 girls in a class. In a class. In a class. Full stop. How many ways to select? How many ways to select? How many ways to select one of these students? One of these students. One of these students. Either boy or a girl. Either boy or a girl as class representative. Girl or a boy as class representative. Right, so what is the answer? Correct answer? 16 members of boys are there, 18 members are girls are there. So what is the answer? How many ways to represent a class representative as a boy or girl? How many ways? Is it going to be and rule or sum rule? Product rule? Sum rule or product rule? Sum rule. We are having 2 different persons. One is boy, the other one is girl. Boy count is 16, girls count is 18. So we are going to have 16 plus 18. That is 34 ways of representing class representative, either a boy or a girl. Okay. So first, what will be writing? P1. If you are writing P1, so what is representation of P1? Number of boys for selecting a boy as representative. Okay. So P1 is number of boys for representing, for selecting, number of boys for selecting a representative from boys. What is the count?
16. Next, number of girls for selecting a representative from girls is 18. Okay. In the next line, you will be writing it as P1 plus P2. That is 16 plus 18, which is equal to 34 ways. Okay. Finished? Or else you can take one of the way as m ways, the other way as n ways. Addition of those two ways is our result. That is m plus n is equal to 34 or p1 plus p2 is equal to 34. So how you are taking your variable, depending on your variable, your output is going to be modified. That is your result is going to be changed. Okay, only the representation, not the output. That is not the result. The result is going to be same, but representing of your variables is going to be different from your end. If you want to keep as m, n, you can keep. If you want to keep it as x, y, you can keep. If you want to keep it as some other variable also, you can keep. But your output is not going to be changed. That is, your result is not going to be changed. Okay. Next question. Done with everyone? Everyone is completed? Next. Suppose a hostel library has, next one, suppose a hostel library has 12 books on maths, 12 books on maths, 12 books on maths, 10 books on physics, 10 books on physics, 10 books on physics, 16 books on chemistry, 16 books on chemistry, and 11 books in science. 11 books in science. Okay. Question is, how many ways to select? How many ways to select? How many ways to select? Wishes to choose. Wishes to choose one of the book for the study. Wishes to choose one of the book for study. What is the answer? Product or sum? Sum. So what is the answer? Total count is 12 plus 10 plus 16 plus 11. So what is the total count? 22 plus 28, 38 plus 11. 49 is the total number of ways in which a user or a student can pick any one of them. Okay. Just write addition of. So if you want to represent in the form of A, B, C, D, you can represent or X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. A, you can represent. M, N, O, P, you can represent. Addition of A, B, C, D or X, Y, Z, A or whatever the values that you are taking, P1, P2, P3, P4 is our complete answer. That is 49. 49 ways is not going to be modified, but the variables how you are representing, you can modify according to your wish. Okay, you can keep A, B, C, D or X, Y, Z, A or M, N, O, P. Whatever the terms you are familiar with, that you can keep. But the answer is 49 ways. Done? Finished? Next. Find out how many ways for selecting. Find out how many ways for selecting a prime number. Find out how many ways for selecting a prime number. How many ways for selecting a prime number less than 10 and even number less than 10 and even number less than 10. Okay, so first understand the question, then tell me the answer. What the rule is going to be applied over here? First tell me that, then you can go for your answer. Product rule or sum rule? Product or sum? So first, what is your question? We have to write, that is we have to select prime number which is less than 10 and prime number also which is less than 10. Okay, so what is the case over there? That is, what is the scenario over there? Either or case is there or and case is there. How many of you are saying it as product rule? How many of you are saying it as product rule? That is and case. That is the ways in which you want to write is multiplied for prime numbers and less than 10 numbers. So it is prime numbers and even numbers. First identify the scenario whether it is either or case or and case. So how many of you are going with and case? Just raise your hands. And so you have to be in one side, either for and case or for or case. Neutral, no neutral. Okay. And case, just raise your hand. And 1, 2, very few. Or case. Or my side, no one is supposed to be in the neutral case. Either you have to be in one side or the other side, but not on neutral side. Right? Or case, just raise your hands. Or case. Or. No one is going with our neutral. Okay, this answer is also fine. Neutral. So except 3 members, no one is trying to attempt the answer. So check with your question. There is a question which is giving you the prime numbers or even numbers less than 10. Okay. There is a case which is giving you the question of either you have to write the prime numbers or either you have to write the even numbers which are of less than 10. So first write the prime numbers which are less than 10. So what are the prime numbers which are less than 10? How many are there? Prime numbers. How many prime numbers are there less than 10? 5. What are those? 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7 is your prime number, not 9. Right. So how many possibilities are there? 4 possibilities are there. Okay. Even numbers. How many numbers we are having? 10 numbers we are having, out of which we have to choose even numbers which are less than 10. So it can include 0 also. Now tell me what are the numbers which are even less than 10? 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. How many numbers you got? 5 numbers. Okay. Now check any number which is in common with both the case. So shall we keep the number as is or we have to eliminate? We have to eliminate in one case. Okay. So which we will be eliminating in even numbers because it is already repeated in prime numbers. Okay. So how many ways are we are having? 4 ways. So 4 plus 4, 8 ways we are adding for getting a number either less than 10, either it is a prime number or less than 10 it is a even number. Right. Solution is select a prime number, select a prime number, select a prime number, select a prime number, either or, either or, either or, even number, less than 10, less than 10. Next slide. Prime numbers are that is prime numbers less than 10 are 2, 3, 5, 7. Prime numbers less than 10 are 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay. Next line. Even numbers less than 10 are even numbers less than 10 are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So you can write 5. Okay, you can write 5. Next line. As 2 is repeated, in prime numbers and even numbers. 2 is repeated in prime numbers and even numbers. We remove one of the two from the two occurrences. We remove one of the two from the two occurrences. Okay. So next time. So that is even numbers is equal to even numbers are 0, 4, 6, 8. 0, 4, 6, 8. Keep hyphen and write 4 ways. Keep hyphen and write 4 ways. Okay. Now add these 2 ways. That is 4 plus 4. M is prime numbers which is given as 4 ways. N is even numbers which is given as 4 ways. M plus N is equal to 4 plus 4, 8 ways. That is our answer. M plus N is equal to 4 plus 4, 8 ways. Done everyone? Right. So I will give you 2 more problems. You have to tell me the answer. Final answer. What is the answer? Test or product rule or sum rule. You have to give me the final answer. Okay. Write down the question. Suppose a person has. Suppose a person has 5 shirts and 7 ties. 5 shirts and 7 ties. Tie. Or you can write 5 shirts and 7 pants. No, 5 shirts and 7 pants or ties. Whatever you want to write, you can write. That is How many ways a person can choose? How many ways a person can choose a shirt and a tie? A shirt and a tie. A shirt and a tie. What is the answer? Direct answer. Is it singular productive? Sorry? Productive. So what is the answer? 5 to 7. Directly. So 5 into 7, which is equal to 35 days. 5 into 7, which is equal to 35 days. Right. Next, second question. That is your last question for the activity. How many ways to construct? How many ways to construct a sequence of 5 letters? Sequence of 5 letters. 5 letters in which 3 letters are English. In which 3 letters are English. 3 letters are English. And the next 2 letters are digits. Next 2 letters are digits. Right, so first do with repetition is allowed. Second go for repetition is not allowed. That is, first answer you have to give it with the help of repetition. Second answer for the same question you have to give it without repetition. So what is the size of letter? 5 letters. Okay, fine. So how many are to be, what is the categorization? 3 letters are in one shape, 2 letters are in another shape. That is, 3 letters we have categorized into English, 2 letters we have categorized into numbers. Okay, fine. So as repetitions are allowed, just like our previous question, so if you are having 3 letters of English, how many alphabets are there? Alphabets. How many alphabets are there? Completely 26 alphabets are there. So when the repetitions are allowed, when we have seen our first example, that is 4-digit number. So when the repetitions are allowed, what was the count? If it is 4-digit number, we have multiplied with 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 4 times. Okay. So here only 3 letters are allowed for English. So how many times we will be getting 26? How many times we will be getting 26? How many times we will be getting 26? 3 times. Okay. So first 3 letters we are getting with 26, 26, 26. Because, so if you are writing with A, you can represent B, C, D up to Z for this one. Similarly, the same case, if you are starting from B, C up to Z, you can also write A. So if you are starting over with C, D, E, F up to Z, you can again include A, comma B. That is the case. Then what about the remaining 2 letters? That is of digits. How many digits we are having? Digits, how many we are having? 9 or 10? 10 letters. That is 10 numbers. Okay. So when repetitions are allowed, it is 10 and again 10. So what is the final answer? It is going to be 26 into 26 into 26 into 10 into 10. So when we are allowed with repetitions. Okay. What about the other case? Second case, without repetitions. Without repetitions. How many letters we are having? What is the final output we should get? We should get the final output as 5 letter word. That is fixed. Okay. So How many letters are of English and how many letters are of digits? How many letters are English and how many letters are digits? 3 letters are English, 2 letters are digits. Fine. So when I am writing 26 for the first letter, so I can start my word or I can start my letters from A to Z. That possibility is there when I am writing for the first letter. So when I am writing for the second letter, what is the probability? How many alphabets I can use? 25. Because I have already used A over here, I cannot repeat that particular alphabet. So this is 25. Next, what about the third one? A and B are 2 alphabets are already used. So how many we can use? Remaining 24 you can use. So 26 into 25 into 24 is one answer. With anything is left or complete answer is finished. So we are left out with digits. So how many digits? When you are starting writing from the first letter, that is first digit, you will be having how many digits? 10. So when you are start writing for the second one, 9. So if it is with repetitions, you will be getting it as 26 into 26 into 26 into 10 into 10. If it is without repetition, you will be getting it as 26 into 25 into 24 into 10 into 9. Okay. So just make the page into 2 parts or just write with repetition and without repetition and just write the answer. Solution is clear? Solution Anpana? Question is clear? We have to write the 5-letter word which is containing 3 English letters and 2 digits. Okay? So with repetitions and without repetitions we have done for the same problem. Clear? Once it is done, just write it. Is it finished? Copying is finished. Finished? My everybody is done. Right. Next. Cut out 3 different formulas. Okay. So whatever the formula so far we have seen, that will be coming again. That is NCR formula. NTR formula you will be getting. With repetitions, without repetitions and circular formula you will be getting. Just write 3 formulas. Then based on these 3 formulas we will be doing. Then one of the topic will be finished. That is permutations with repetitions, circular repetitions are going to be completed. Okay. Just write first formula. Number of permutations. Number of permutations. Number of permutations on n objects on n objects without repetition is What is the formula?
If R objects are there, the formula is NPR. If N objects are there, the formula is NP R or N. Objects. Objects size is different. That is, instead of using R objects, now I am using N objects. So what is my formula is going to be?
It is going to be NPR or NPN. NPN. So what is the formula? NPN is equal to n factorial by n minus n factorial, not r factorial.
Objects have been changed to R. Okay. So n factorial by n minus n factorial. That is
n factorial by 0 factorial, which is equal to n factorial.
first formula. Next line. Arranging R objects from N objects.
Arranging R objects. Arranging R objects from N objects.
Arranging R objects from N objects is equal to is it NPR or NPN?
R objects from
N objects.
NPR. Now you can write the formula as n factorial by n minus r factorial.
Then second part. Okay. Number of permutations can be done. Number of permutations can be done while arranging. Number of permutations can be done while arranging n objects in circular order is equal to
In circular order is equal to n minus 1 factorial.
n minus 1 factorial. That is second. Next. Third. Number of permutations on n objects with repetition is
n factorial by a factorial into b factorial into c factorial into d factorial up to dot order, that is n, depending on the size. Okay, where
n is number of objects. Next time. A is same type of objects. N is number of objects. A is same type of objects. B is also same type of objects. C same type of objects. D also same type of objects. E also same type of objects. Right?
So now you are going to give me the answer for the questions based on these three formulas. Okay? Based on these three formulas, I will give you a question. You have to give me the answer. First one. How many different arrangements? How many different arrangements? How many different arrangements? How many different arrangements of letters can be done in the word board, in the word board, BOUGHT, in the word board. So check it here, three formulas, whether it is repeated, not repeated, or same kind of letters are there. Check this here, three formulas, and tell me in which formula it is going to be applied. Repeated or not repeated? Not repeated. So if it is not repeated, what is your n size? What is n size? N size. N is equal to, how many letters are there? 6 letters are there. So what is the formula that you are going to get? NP. So you will be getting repeated values or not repeated values? Not repeated values. That is your R value is also 6. Okay. R value is also 6. So now representing the formula, that is NPR. So what is NPR? 6P6. So what is 6P6? 6 factorial by 6 minus 6 factorial, which is 6 factorial by 0 factorial, which is given as 6 factorial. Okay? That is the answer. So you are going to say the answer, but you have to represent N, R, and then you have to substitute in the formula. Done? First one is finished, this one is completed. This one is finished, everyone. Our question is clear. How many different letters or how many different words we are going to get from the word? That is different forms we are going to get from the word. That is 6 letter word. Right? So N is 6, R is also 6, that is 6 different things we are going to get. 6 different we are going to get. We have substituted in NPR, that is 6PR. 6P6. Next, second. How many 3 letters? How many 3 letters? How many 3 letter words? How many 3 letter words? How many 3 letter words? Within brackets, distinct. Distinct. How many letter words? Within bracket, distinct, bracket close. Can be formed from the word, can be formed from the word board. Can be from the word board. Same word, different action I did. So what is the size? Now I required. What is the letter size? Now I required. What is my R value? 3. What is my N value? 6. So what is the formula? If you are substituting in NPR, it is going to be 6P 3 or 6? 3. What is the final answer? Tell me. How many number of ways? Number of ways. 120 is the exact answer. If you are getting any other answer apart from 120, your answer is gone. Okay. So check it over here. 6p3, that is 6 factorial by 6 minus 3 factorial. So which is again equal to 6 factorial by 3 factorial. So what we are doing over here, 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 factorial by 3 factorial. 3 factorial, 3 factorial gone. So 6 into 5, 30, 30 into 4, 120. That is 120 ways. Done? Right. So now you have done for the part, right? Next one. How many ways to get? How many ways? Next one. How many ways? The 3 persons. How many ways the 3 persons can sit around the table? Can sit around the table. How many ways? How many ways the 3 persons can sit around the table? How many ways? Direct formula you have to substitute. N minus 1 is n minus 1 factorial. 3 minus 1 factorial. What is the count? 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 ways. Okay. So what is n value? N value is 3. N minus 1 factorial, that is 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 into 1, that is 2 ways. That's it. Next. How many ways to get? How many ways? How many ways? How many ways? How many ways? The 10 boys and 10 girls, 10 boys and 10 girls can sit around the round table. Can sit around the round table. Can sit around round table. What is the answer? What is the answer? First, tell me what is the n value, then you can give me the answer. N value is what? N value 10 or 20? 10 or 20? So how you are getting it as only 10? So look into your question, what I have said. How many number of ways or how many ways the 10 boys and 10 girls are? N value is 10 boys and 10 girls. So what is the N value? 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. Okay. And now substitute in the circular formula. That is 20 minus 1 factorial. That is 19 factorial is our answer. Okay. Total count includes X and Y. That is boys and girls. Okay. N members are boys. That is 10 members are boys are there. 10 members are girls are there. 10 plus 10 is our value for N. So when N is 20, that is 10 plus 10. N minus 1 factorial is 19 factorial. This is your answer. 19 factorial ways. Okay. Now check for the wonderful question. Find the number of permutations. Find the number of permutations of the letters. Find the number of permutations of the letters in the word Pascal. the word Pascal. Now tell me the answer. Right. So is it going to be falling under repetition or without repetition? Just check. Repetition. So what they are repeated? A letters are repeated. So when A letters are any letter is repeated, what is the formula that we are supposed to put? N factorial by A factorial into B factorial into C factorial into dot dot dot. Okay. So where A is A master by master. Same type of letters or same type of words you have written, right? Now what is the size of N over here? N is equal to 6. Very good. Now tell me what is your A value, what is your B value, what is your C value, D value, etc. So when you are checking for the A value, first you have to go with your first letter. What is your first letter? P is your first letter. Okay. So number of letters, that is number of letters P. Okay. A is equal to number of P letters or letters P. How many P values are there in the Pascal? How many P values are there? Only one. Next, P is equal to number of next letter. Next letter is, this one we have completed. Next letter, A, number of A letters. How many A letters are there? How many A's are there? 2. Write the count, 2. Next, C is equal to number of P is done, A is done. What is the next letter? Yes, S letters. How many S letters are there? 1. Next, T is equal to number of C. How many letters are there? 1. Next, E is equal to, which letter we will be taking? L we have to take. As A is already coming, already came, we have to take L letter. 1. Now check with your sum. That is, Pascal is containing 6 letters, right? N is equal to 6. Right? So your sum value should also come to 6. Check with all the values. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So what is the sum of all these values? That is all these letters. 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. That is your N value should be equal to your number of letters. Okay. Now substitute all these values in the formula. That is N factorial by A factorial into B factorial into C factorial into D factorial into E factorial. Okay. Up to E only we are having, right? So what is A value? 6. What is A value? 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial. Right? Now simplify the equation. What is the answer that we are going to get? 6 factorial by 2 factorial, which is equal to 360 you are getting. What is the value that you are getting? 6 factorial, 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 factorial. 2 factorial by 2 factorial, it will be gone. Right? So what is the value we are going to get? 30 into 4, 120 into 3, which is equal to 360. Right? The total number of ways that we are having is 360 ways. Right? Understood the problem? So when you are asked with repetitions, you have to use the formula called n factorial by a factorial, b factorial, c factorial, d factorial up to n factorial. That is, depending on the letters, you are going to take your values. Okay. So then you have to cross check with your n value and your sum value. So if both are equal, then you have to substitute the values in the formula. That's it. Clear? Copy it already? Copy it? If you have not done, just copy it. If it is done, just let me know. Finished or ready to complete? Copied or not copied? 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 Right. So then go for the next question. Go for the next question if you have already copied. Write down. Find the number of permutations of. Find the number of permutations of. Find the number of permutations of. Find the number of permutations of the letters in the word. The letters in the word. The letters in the word engineering. 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 Okay. What is n value? 11 is the n value, right? So a value is of which letters? E. B value N. C value G. D value is I. E value up to what values you will be getting, just write those values and then go for the summation and check, substitute the values and give me the answer. What is the A value? A value is E letter. How many letters? How many letters of E are there? 3. Next B value. B value is N, which is of 3. Next C value. C value. C is letter. C letter is G. Count is count. What is the count? G count 2. Next D letter, that is I. What is the count? 2. Next E letter, E value. E value is R. What is the count? Count is 1. Isn't it? R value is only 1 time. And now substitute the values into your formula, that is n factorial by a factorial into b factorial into c factorial into d factorial into e factorial. That is 11 factorial by 3 factorial into 3 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial. Simplify the equation and tell me the count. Simplify the equation, tell me the count. What is the count that you are getting? If you are having those, tell me the count. What is the final answer? 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 5. So if you are still simplifying, what is your answer? Count చెప్పండి ఇక్కడ రాసిస్తాను. 2 7 7 2 8 8 0 0 2 7 7 2 0 base we are going to get for engineering. Okay. Right. So next, only one problem for conversion combinations. Then we will close. Last one. Last one. Try to find the number of permutations. Last problem for permutations. Find the number of permutations of the letter in the word programming. My question is not yet finished. Programming. Okay. Next, second question. In the same one, second question. How many of these permutations comes with all m's together? Comes with all m's together. Next one, last one. How many of them begin with letter? How many of them begin with letter R? How many of them begin with letter R? How many of them begin with letter R? Right, so what is the solution? So whether you are having repeated things or non-repeated things, repeated values are there or non-repeated values are there? Repeated values are there. So what is the formula that you are supposed to use? N factorial by A factorial into B into C into D into etc. Okay. So first N is equal to count is 11. That is also we know. Very good. Now go for your A, B, C, D, E or up to whatever the values that you are going to get. That is your first answer. Okay. So first complete your first answer and tell me what is your first answer. Then I will tell you how you are supposed to do your second and third one. Okay. First complete the first one. many values you are coming? That is, how many values you are getting for programming? Up to what extent you are coming with?
Right, so how many values you are getting? That is A2, A value is of letter. What is A value letter? That is A value letter is A is equal to which letter? P. Count is 1. B. P. A is equal to P, count is 1. P, R, count. C, O, count. D, count. Next E, A, count. F, M, count. Next G, I, count. Next H. Next N, count is 1. Okay. So first answer is 11 factorial by 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 into 1 factorial. That is our answer for first one. That is first question, A. Right. So what is the simplified value that you are getting over there? Simplified value, anyone have simplified the value? What is the value that you are getting for A? 4, 9, 8, okay, 6, 0, 0. Okay, so this is the answer for our A bit, 4, 9, 8, 9, 6, 0, 0. That is for this one. Right. So now the second question is, look into your second question, that is part 2 of the same question. Part 2 of the same question is containing how many of these permutations comes with all x together. Right? So how many x will be there? Out of all these values, m's are coming together. Okay? So whatever the number of m size is, that is going to be becoming as 1. So how many number of m's are there? 2 number of m values are there. So that value will become, when you are going for the second question, it will become as 1. Okay? It will become as 1. Now what is the answer for your B bit? Again it is n factorial by a factorial into up to h factorial. So the value has changed at m. Instead of 2 factorial, it is becoming 1 factorial. Okay? So how the answer will look like? 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial. Okay? So instead of 2, your value has changed. Okay? So after 1 2 1 2, you will be getting 4 ones. That is your B bit. Okay? So instead of changing in the first question, again take the values from A to H and update your value as M. Update your M value, that is M is equal to 1. Okay? That is your second question. What about third one? Third one. Third question. What is your third question? Check. How many of them begin with letter R? So what is the starting letter of the word? What is the starting letter of the word? PR. According to the third question, you answer. What is the starting letter of the word? It is R. That is, one letter is already fixed. So how many letters are remaining? That is, what is the n value? 11. So out of 11, 1 is fixed already. Default value is 1 we are having. So what is the n count? Now updated n count is, updated n value is 10. So where the value is going to modify? Where the value is going to modify? R value is going to be modified. What it will become? It will become as 1 and m remains same as 2. Okay. So when you are writing your n factorial by a factorial to n factorial, your n factorial value will become as 10 factorial by, again, 1 into 1 into 1 into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial into 1 factorial. Okay. That is the only change in your second question and third question. In second question, we are making m values to become as 1. In third question, you are making your r value to be removed. That is, one value is defaultly available with. We are going with the remaining 10 counts. Okay, that is remaining 10 values we are going. N value is equal to 10 and r value we are making it as a to h factorial. Okay, clear? Clear with this one? Up to here, permutations with repetitions, without repetitions, and circular formula. It is clear? Understood? Yeah, when you are giving response, then we can move further. Otherwise, we can stick on to this and we can clarify your doubts. Clear? Right. So, shall we move on to the next one? That is our combinations. So, permutations we have done, permutations. That is basic counting we have done, permutations we have done, permutations with repetitions we have done, constraint, that is some conditions we have done, right? So all these topics which are there in your syllabus, we have completed with all those topics with related to permutations. Permutations side complete type, right? So when we enter into combinations, we are again having combinations with repetitions or without repetitions. We will be seeing the examples. Then we will be moving on to the binomial and multinomial combinations. Shall we move on to the combinatorics, that is combinations? Shall we move? Permutation side is clear? Right. So these are depending on 3 different formulas which are there in your notes. Just check with those 3 different formulas. Apply the formula whenever it is required. Okay. Next, keep this heading as combinatorics. Combinatorics. Heading is combinatorics. Okay. Heading is combinatorics. Just see. So this is one part of your mathematics. Okay. So this is one part of mathematics. Right. So again, that is one part or one topic which we are going to deal in discrete structures. Okay, discrete structures. So with the help of these things, that is discrete structures or discrete maths, we are going to deal with countable or finiteness. Okay, that is, we could able to count the values or we could able to finite the things. That is, whatever the number of available elements or objects are available for the users, we can easily or we could able to count the values or finiteness we could able to justify. Okay.
So this thing we are going to say it as the combinations. So what is combinations? We are going to go for the arrangement and selection. Okay. So we are going to go for the arrangements and selection among the multiple elements or arrangements and selections from the available elements. That is the thing which we are going to do in the combinations. Okay, we are going to go for the whatever the values are there that we are going to arrange and we are going to combine or we are going to select. That's it. Okay. So here also we are going to have the formulas just like we have seen for calculation 3 formulas. Here we are having two different formulas for doing those things. That is for solving our problems we are having two different formulas. Based on those two different formulas, how we are going to apply them to the various problems and how we can solve the multiple problems. Let us see. Okay. So in combinatorics we will be having permutations, combinations, right? So again we will be having permutations and combinations and product rule or sum rule. So what you will do product rule or multiplication rule? Sorry. Product rule or multiplication rule? What you are going to do in product rule or multiplication rule? What you will be doing in product rule or multiplication rule? You are going to multiply or you are going to add the values? We are going to go for the multiplication of values. That is one. So what about the permutations? Permutations, what you are doing in permutations? You are arranging and selecting the values from the given values. So what are the three different formulas that you are having in permutations? What are the three different formulas that you are having in permutations? You can take the help of your notes, no issue. But try to remember before your exams. Okay? What are those three formulas that you are using? Without repetition. Without repetition, what is the formula? NPR is equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial. If the objects are n, you are going to be NPN, that is n factorial by n minus n factorial. That is one formula. And second one is with repetition. What is the formula? N factorial by a factorial into b factorial into c factorial into up to dot. Okay. So where n is the number of elements or number of objects and a is same objects or same variables or same letters or same elements in the given list or given array of list or given elements. B is also same letters of the given elements. C is also same letters of the given elements. Right? So the best examples we have seen is Pascal, programming, engineering. Right? So like that we have seen 3 to 4 examples. And then we have seen the circular arrangement. So when you are going for circular arrangement, it is n minus 1 factor. Okay? That is again coming under combinatorics, which we have seen so far. That is permutations we have completed, product rule and sum rule we have completed. So now it is the task of combinations. Okay? So in combinations, if you are going for R objects of, if you want to pick R objects from N objects, what is the value? So previously we are having R objects from N objects, which is of permutations. We have given it as NPR. So now it is same R objects of N objects in combination. What is the formula? It is NCR. Right. What is the formula for your combination? NCR. Have you remembered the formula? What is the formula for NCR? N factorial by n factorial by n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. That you remember. based on this we will be doing few problems. Okay, based on this formula we will be doing some problems. After that we will be seeing n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1 formula. Okay, so when they are going to be used, how they are going to be used, when we will be doing some more number of practice with the problems, we will be coming to know when we have to use NCR, when we have to use n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1 formula. Okay, so as of now just write combination is equal to, that is combinations keep hyphenate, right? Choosing the elements. Combination is choosing the elements. Okay, right up. If n objects are to be chosen, where r objects are taken the combination, is represented as NCR is equal to n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. N factorial into r factorial by n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Right? Example. If you have to choose 3-person committee, from 5 persons. What is the combination, or what are the combinations? What is the combination, or what are the combinations? What is the value? What is your n value? N. What is your n value? What is your r value? N is equal to, first check with your question, how many persons committee has to be there, from whom you have to form. How many members are there? 5 persons are there. So out of which you have to choose 3 persons committee. Okay, what is your n value and what is your r value? N value is equal to 5, r value is equal to 3. Substitute the same values in the formula, that is 5c3. So 5 factorial by 3 factorial into 5 minus 3 factorial. So what it will become? 5 factorial by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. Right? So when it is becoming 5 factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 factorial by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. Okay, so then what is the value? See, 10 ways we are having for representing, that is we are having the combination of getting 3 persons from 5 persons committee. Okay. Right. So now next one. So shall I check with your permutations once with questions? You are going to give me the answers. Shall I check on later part? We can check with the permutations again. Will you give the answers if I am going to give the questions for permutations? Permutations. You are going to give the answers? You are going to give the answers or we will continue after? After completion of combinations, you will be giving the answers, right? Right. Next slide. Combinations you have already written, right? Selecting our objects from n objects is NCR. We have also written the formula. Next, second formula. First formula is this one, combination. N is equal to NCR. That is R objects from n objects is NCR. That we have done. Second formula, right? Second, distributing n identities, distributing n identical objects, distributing n identical objects to R items, to R persons, R boxes, R persons, R objects, distributing n identical objects to R persons, R boxes, persons or boxes is equal to n plus R minus 1 C n plus R minus 1 combination of R minus 1, combination of R minus 1. Okay. So first formula is NCR, second formula is n plus R minus 1 C R minus 1. Two formulas here hand. Okay. So one is combinations with constraints and second one is combinations with distributing objects. We can say the first one as combinations with constraints. Some conditions we will be having in order to choose. Second one is distributing objects. We are going to distribute the objects. Right. Question. Find the number of committees. Find the number of committees. Find the number of committees. Find the number of committees of 5 that can be formed from 7 men and 5 women. 7 men and 5 women. 7 men and 5 women. Right. Tell me what is n value? N value and R value. So what is the committee size? Committee size. Find the number of committees of 5. So what is the R value and what is the N value? So we need to find the committees of size 5. So which indicates R value or N value? R value or is it N value? Committee size is 5. Okay. Which indicates N or R? R value. So our R value is 4, that is 5. 5. So what is the N value then? N value? What is the N value? So from whom we have to pick these 5 committee members? How many people are available for the users? That is for us to pick. Available. So we are having 7 men and 5 men. So what is N value? N value is 5 plus 7 or 7 plus 5, which is 12. Okay. So N is equal to 7 plus 5, which is 12. R is 5. Substitute this in NCR, that is 12C5. What is the value? 12C5. What is the value? 12 factorial by R factorial is 5 factorial minus, that is 12 minus 5 factorial. So which is 12 factorial by 5 factorial into 7 factorial. So which is equal to 12 into 10, 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into 7. Okay. 7 factorial into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 7 factorial, 1 factorial, got 4 into 2 got 2, 2 got 3 into 3. This one is 2. Okay. 6, that is 12 into 11 into 6 we are having. So what is the value that you tell me? What is the final value? That is 12C5 value is or you can go with 12 into 66. 12 is 792 ways we are having, that is 792 combinations we are having for picking 5 members team from 7 men and 5 women. Okay, 792. Right? Next. For the same question, second one. Done with the first one. This one is finished. Yes, everyone completed up to here. This one is clear. This one is finished. Right. So for the same question, additional question I am giving. So this is treated as first question. Second one or A bit and B bit. B bit question is, if the committee is consisting of question, if the committee is consisting of at least 1 man and 1 woman. If the committee is consisting of at least 1 man and 1 woman. Okay. If the committee is consisting of at least 1 man and 1 woman, what is the answer then? If the committee is consisting of 1 man and 1 woman, what is the answer? If the committee is consisting of 1 woman and 1 man, at least, what is the answer? tell me the answer, then later on you can discuss. Okay. First tell me the answer, then you can discuss among yourselves. Sorry. Committee is consisting of at least one woman and one man, I said. Okay. So for the previous question, additionally we have added the constraint, that is condition. One condition we have kept, the committee must contain one man and one woman. Okay. So what is your answer? What is your answer? Just tell me. So how many men are there? Completely how many men are there? Men. What is the men count? Men count is? Hey, men count. Men count is 7. Fine. So out of which, what is the committee size? Committee size? Committee size is 5. Okay. So committee size R is 6, that is 5. Right? So now n value is changing if I am going to add or if I am going to get at least one man as the team member or committee member. Right? So how I am supposed to do? So I need to get the value of 12C5 first. So that I got minus what I will be doing? I will be doing with 5 men, sorry 7 men I will be doing. So which is equal to 7C5, and later I will be doing with 5 men, right? So that is 5C5. Okay. So if I am going to subtract 12C5 minus 7C5 minus 5C5, so which is with men and women and total, I will be getting the value of at least one man or at least one woman. Okay. So get the value for 12C5. Already we got the value for 12C5. Similarly, get the value for 7C5 and 5C5. Subtract the value and tell me the final answer. That is the solution. Okay. So this value is our final solution. That is 12C5 minus 7C5 minus 5C5. 12C5 minus 7C5 minus 5C5. Tell me the answer. So if you are completing within 1 or 2 minutes, we will have one more question. Otherwise, we will take a break after completing this question. I want the final answer. I gave you the substitution. How to give me the final answer? Indicate your question. What is the final answer that we are getting after removing all the values? We will be getting it as 717. Okay. Now write the question. If you are having some time, just answer to the question. Otherwise, we will do the arithmetic. Okay. Write the question first. Assume. Write the question. Assume a question paper contains is stop talking. Assume a question paper contains two parts. Assume a question paper contains two parts A and B. Assume a question paper contains two parts A and B, and each part contains four questions. Each part contains four questions. First up, how many ways a student can answer? How many ways a student can answer 5 questions by selecting at least two questions from each part. At least two questions from each part. Just think of how to do the question, that is how you need to answer the question, right? So how many cases you are having, that is how many possibilities are there, that you tell me. Then I will give you the suggestion of how you need to do the problem. Right, so how many parts are there in the question paper? How many parts you are having? Two parts, part A and part B. How many questions in each part? A is containing 4 questions, B is also containing 4 questions. Right. So what is the choice of the student? Student has to answer how many questions? 5 questions. Okay. So out of which at least 2 questions from each part. Okay. At least 2 questions from each part. Okay. So we will take some scenario where a user can take from part A some questions, part B some questions, and other case also part A some questions and part B some questions. Okay. So in first case, if I am selecting 3 questions from part A, if I am selecting 3 questions, how many questions I need to select from part B? How many questions I am supposed to take from part B? How many questions? 2 questions. Very good. Part B is 2 questions. Other side. So part A already 3 questions done. So how many are remaining? Part A, 2 questions the user can answer or student can answer. Part B, 3 questions. Okay. Now tell me what is the value for your answer? I gave you the answer already. Now you need to substitute the values in the formula and you have to tell me the answer. That's it. So what is 3? That is, select 3 questions from part A indicates what is the value of R. N value is, what is the N value? N value, how many questions are there in each part? 4 questions. N value is 4 in both the cases. That is, part case 1 it is same, case 2 is also same, because part A is containing 4, part B is also containing 4. That is, N value is 4. It is fixed in both the cases, case 1 and case 2. Right. Now, what is your R in case 1? For the first iteration, that is, what is your R value in first iteration? R value in first case, that is part A 3 questions if you are attempting, what is your R value? R value 3. So what is your value over here? It is 4C3. Right. So what is your value in part B in the same case? 4C2. Right. So coming for the other side, what is your answer for the 2 questions? 4C2 and here 4C3. Right. So once these two are done, what we are supposed to do? What we are supposed to do? We are going to add or we are going to multiply? So these two cases we are going to order, these two cases we are going to multiply. So case 1 and case 2 finally we are going to add. So what about here? 4C3 into 4C2 we need to calculate. That is, we have to multiply. So because we are having chances of attempting the question. Okay. So here also 4C2 into 4C3. Okay. So here it is 4C3 into 4C2 plus there 4C2 into 4C3. So what are the values of this 4C3 and 4C2? Just anyone can do and tell me the values. 4C3, what is the 4C3 value? 4 factorial by 3 factorial into yes, what is the value? 4C3. Completely what we are getting? 4 or something else? 4C3. You are getting the value as 4. Next, here it is 4C2. 6 you will be getting. Okay, completely it is 24. Other side also you will be having 6 into 4. That is 24. 24 plus 24. How many ways we are having? Completely you are having 48 ways of selecting 5 questions from 2 cases. That is 2 parts. Okay. So this is our final answer. Right? So that is, you have to choose what is to be chosen from which part. That is, a student is going to attempt how many questions in which part you have to check. Then you have to go for the substitution. That is, your N value has to be identified, your R value has to be identified. Then you are supposed to keep the values in your formula. That is, you are supposed to substitute your values in the formula. Then your answer is ready. Right? Clear up to here?